Hi guys. So I'm not going to take up too much of your time because the videos that I record are often long enough. This week on Obsessed with Coaching, you're going to hear from a top coach and she's going to talk all about recruiting. Recruiting is huge, you guys. If you want to grow a team, if you want to rank advance, if you want to start earning those weekly cycle bonuses. So definitely dive into this training, make notes, and then start implementing what you learn into your business. Let me know if you have any questions and what you thought of the video.
Tonight. So I'm going to be interviewing Allie, and we are talking about recruiting tonight. So all things recruiting. So how you guys can find new members for your challenge groups, how to recruit coaches, how to use the shopping cart feature, email lists when you check in on people. Anything and everything that has to do with recruiting. So obviously I always start the call just a minute or two early so you guys can start jumping on and so that Allie can jump on. Whenever I see her jump on, there she is, I will invite her to the video. Let me see, come on. Allie, can you request to join the conversation? I see that you're on, but for whatever reason, when I click on adding you to the video, it's not letting me, it's not giving me the option. Come on. So if you are able to send a request, which you should be able to do, Allie, you should be able to click like request to join the video. Gotta love technology. It challenges me every week. Normally I tap on the little video icon by your name and it will add you, but it's not doing it right now. Oh, wait, did I get it? There we go. Bring Allie on camera. Okay, I just tried adding you. So if you accept Allie, there you are.
I got it. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. This is my first time using this. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope it works. I was like, paranoid. Oh my gosh.
Everybody says that when they come on. They're like, so I've never done this before. And I'm like, don't worry, I got you. We'll figure it out. Hi.
Perfect. Hello,
Happy
hello.
Sunday.
Happy Sunday. I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you. Thanks for
I'm so pumped.
Joining us.
Of course. I'm so excited.
So we're talking all about recruiting. And I love this because I see you recruit all the time, which is one of the reasons I picked you for this particular topic. So, yeah, let's just dive right into it, right? Because this is one that so many people, I feel like they really struggle with. Even like whether they're a new coach or they've been in it for a minute, like people start to struggle with recruiting. They don't want to sound salesy. They don't know how to ask. They don't know where to find people. So let's start like just the basics. When you're recruiting, where are you finding people? Let's just start there.
Well, for me, I find most of my coaches either from challengers to coaches, or I find them through personally inviting them. I personally invite my coaches. I have a rule of thumb where I invite 3 people every single day to the coach opportunity. It is the first thing I do. So it's 100 coach invites every single month. They're either challenger invites to coaches. They are people that maybe like something on Instagram or liked an IG story that I was, doing, or maybe they watched something on Facebook. But for me, it's non-negotiable. I always invite 3 people every single day. Sometimes I do 5 if I'm hustling for some goals, but it's always 3 because I truly believe whether you're a new coach or a seasoned coach, you have no excuse not to be able to invite 3 people to the coach opportunity, especially if you're sharing on social media, because the people are right there. They're liking, they're commenting. You don't have to go look for them.
Love that. So 2 questions for that.
Yep.
Do you have somebody, do you have certain comments that you look for that determines whether you invite them to being a coach compared to a challenger? And do you have sort of a script that you follow because you're doing 3 a day? So do you have like a basic, hey, I see you like my post, yada, yada, yada? Or is it completely just like each individual gets a completely unique invite?
Well, I will say this. I have in my new coach mentorship with all of my coaches, I talk to them about branding themselves, and I have them do this color wheel where they identify themselves, and I have them write down 8 different characteristics of who they are, but then I have them narrow it down to 4 adjectives of who they are. For me, I'm a mom of 3. I'm a registered nurse. I'm a certified holistic health coach, and I'm a foodie. So those are like my 4 things that maybe I look for. Those are the 4 people I invite. So if someone's liking or commenting, and I recommend all of you doing that, make a list of everything about who you are, what you love. Maybe you're a do-it-yourself person. Maybe you are a fitness fanatic. Maybe you are a teacher. Write down all of these different things that represent who you are. Pick your top 4, and that's who you invite. And that right there eliminates a handful of people for me, because if I see that I have 100 likes on a picture, I'll sort through them. I'm like, okay, she's not in my niche market. We don't really connect, because you're ultimately, in my eyes, whether it's a challenger or a coach, you want them to fit into your tribe of people, your team. I'm not going to invite someone most likely that isn't my person, because I want them to be family for me. I look at every coach, every challenger as family. And if they don't fit into my group of people, then they might not have as much success because they're not in my niche. So I would say write down your group of people that are you, and that's how you invite every single day. I literally go through my 4 people, and maybe there's a couple things I notice. I'm like, she's posting really good on Instagram, or she, shares her journey all the time on Facebook. That's a sign maybe she's a really great coach. I'll just ask her anyways. Leading to your next question with the script. I do.
Hold on real quick, because I want to comment on what you just said. It was amazing. Yeah. So, you guys, we've heard, obviously, I think Allie's the 5th, we're in week 5, so Allie's the 5th coach now that we've spoken with. And there is a really big theme going on here, in case you guys haven't picked up on it, which is all these coaches that are successful, whether they're brand new or been in it for a while, they are doing something similar, which is they are identifying themselves, and then they are looking for that person out there. Because, we say things like find your tribe, love them hard, like things like that, right? And it's not just a saying. In order to find your tribe, you have to know what you're looking for. And so by taking a look inward and saying, like, what are my things? Like me, fitness expert, nutrition expert, I'm a dancer, I'm a mom, I'm a single mom, all those things, like those are things that, like, if I was doing it, that I would be looking for. Because here's the deal: would I totally relate to a single woman who doesn't have kids? Yeah, sure, yes, but at the same time, maybe not totally, because if it's a girl in her 20s and I'm almost 38, I've been married and divorced and have a kid, and my group is more women like me, then that 20-something-year-old might not feel at home there. Like, oh, you're not dealing with what I'm dealing with. I'm trying to find my way in the world and trying to find my, so I think that it's very, very important to say, identify who you are first and invite that person. Jen said the exact same thing last week. She said it differently, but she made the exact same point. So I really love that you guys are driving the same thing home.
It's super important, because if you're, and I was just talking to one of my coaches about this. She's like, Allie, I love health and wellness, but I'm not a fitness fanatic. And I'm like, well, don't lead with turn your fitness into a business. If you're not passionate about fitness, you've got to find your healthy nut people that are obsessed with, like, health and wellness and organic, and that granola mom. That's who you relate to, not lead with fitness fanatic, fitness trainer, because that's not who she is. Right. So it really is finding your niche, but you've got to figure out who you are, because this business, expanding your business, growing your team, it's about your story, your mission, your brand ultimately, and finding your people that are like you. And that's where you start to grow your tribe.
And I want to say one more thing. That is very important. I hear coaches get hung up on branding all of the time. And I think a lot of times they're misinterpreting what even corporate, because corporate will say, Beachbody will say, brand yourself. And I think they think that means, what's my logo? What are my colors? Like, oh, I have to create moves of the day so people think I know everything, and I have to create recipes. And that is not necessarily what we mean by branding. Branding is, again, identifying who you are so you can find your tribe.
Yep.
I think that's really
important
to pay attention to. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. On to the next question, which is all about, like, do you have a pitch?
The script. So this is the thing. I truly believe there was an era, I would say last year, where it was like script central. Every person was using a script. If I reached out to someone, they're like, oh, you're a Beachbody coach, aren't you? And I'm like, well, it's because, honestly, I feel like too many coaches use a script. They don't know who they are. Knowing who you are. They don't know who they are. So they're using all of these copy and paste methods. And I think it's important, if you want to be efficient, you need to know what you're going to say in advance, but you got to relate to people. You got to understand, like, why would they be an amazing coach? Why would they love to be a part of your challenge groups? If you can't connect with them on a personal level, you shouldn't be inviting them. That's me, hands up. So of course I have a script, and it usually is thanking them. It's thanking them for liking something. It's thanking them for watching my IG stories. It's thanking them for commenting on my 80-day obsession transformation. It's thanking them for something, because in my eyes, if they've liked it, if they've commented, if they've watched it, they put the ball in your court, and now it's your job to follow up. That's how I see it. But I've got to connect with them. So maybe I saw that they have a 6-year-old. I comment about, oh my gosh, your 6-year-old is so cute. I have a 6-year-old as well. Oh, you're a registered nurse? So am I. What department do you work in? I call it the peanut butter and jelly sandwich method. And I actually talk about it on my YouTube, where I lead with thanking them. I put in a personal, and then I follow up with an invite, whether it's an invite to a training group, an invite to a challenge group. And then I always end just saying, thank you again so much for the love, and I hope we can inspire one another either way, if you decide to be a part of it or not. But I always lead with them and keep them at the forefront, but then I offer something. And most of the time people say yes, because I'm making it about them, and they see that I'm being authentic and it's not a script, and then I'm being real, and then I've connected with maybe that they had a miscarriage and I read that in a post, or that they, are struggling to, lose the weight, because I took time to read through their Instagram, read through their Facebook, and identify the need, and then present how I can help the need.
I love that. You guys, if you were in the original 80-day obsession group that I ran, the big one, like the 43,000, actually, not even that one. That's not where I was talking about. It was before 80-day obsession launched. And I literally did like 50-something coach calls with different teams. So talked to thousands of coaches. And one of the biggest things I wanted to make a point about was that you can't expect a full-time salary on part-time effort. And I think what Allie's saying is so true. And I guarantee there's people watching right now, or that will watch later, and think, oh my God, that's so time-consuming. You guys, it is still a job. At the end of the day, like, if you want it to be a paycheck that is a full-time paycheck, then you have to work full-time hours. The beauty of this business that we're in isn't that you don't have to work. It's that you can work from home. You can work odd hours. You can work whatever hours work for you. You can split your hours up throughout the day and, spend the time getting kids ready to go to school. And then once they're at school, you can work, and then you can pick them up from school and work again at night. But the point is like, there are things that you have to do that require time. And one of them is learning who you're talking to. And like Allie said, not just having a blanket script. Thanks so much for liking my Instagram. Do you want to join me in my next challenge group? Because that is obvious that you don't know anything about them. But taking a chance to read, look at their Instagram, maybe watch their story. Oh, you have a 6-year-old. Oh, you went through blah, blah, blah. I see you switch nutrition programs 3 different times, or you were on keto and now you're not, and you're, like, identifying that you are following them back, or paying attention back, is really important. And the question I want to ask you, Allie, was, so do you always put it all in in the first conversation? Is it always the peanut butter and jelly of, thanks for liking, I see you use X, Y, or Z, do you want to join me on? Or do you ever start the conversation, sort of get a ping pong, and then invite them?
I used to do the ping pong method, like you say. I used to do that because I thought, I got to establish the relationship and get that going. But I realized, if I can be honest with you, I was like, people are either in or they're out. That's what I discovered. They're either in or out. And I know a big question that most people have is, how do you track everyone? How do you keep track of all the conversations going on? For me, it is simple. It is, I used to do the ping pong, and it would be like a 4-week process. Message, wait for them to respond, message them again. And it was like, it honestly was too long, and I would have too many people. So now they get the invite in the first message. And it's authentic because I've researched them. So I'm not someone that sends out 100 invites a day, because I personally, that's where scripting comes in, and that's where I feel like it loses its personal touch. I would rather send out 10 heartfelt, really personal people like me that are all going to say yes. than send out 100 invites and maybe 2 say yes, because it's all scripted. And
Right.
that's where this business, you have to care about the people you're inviting. You want them to connect. When people come into my team or my challenge groups, I say, you're never leaving. You're stuck with us for life, because they're like us, and I know they need this. And that's when you find your people, and that's when you have success. That's when you have growth, and that's when you have your lifers, because they're like you. And you know what? For me, I have it down where I can sit down and send out 5 invites every morning. It takes me 10 minutes. Easy breezy, because I know who I'm looking for. I know what I'm saying, and I know what I'm looking on their social media, how to identify the people that could use me and our community in their life.
Yeah, and it probably wasn't like that at the beginning, right?
No. Oh my gosh.
But you got it sort of down to your science now.
Yep.
Which is
It's a skill.
Job. Once you get into the flow, you learn it and you're going. So that's awesome.
And that's the scariest thing, is inviting. For me, I probably didn't talk about the coach opportunity for the first year of coaching. I was too afraid. And then on National Wake Up Call, they were like, if you want to grow the business, you got to share the business. And I was like, okay, I got to get over this fear. The more I confront it, the more I overcome it. And I was like, I'm just going to do it. And I wrote down my 4 reasons why and how coaching has changed my life. And that's what I lead with, are those 4 things. And I tell my coaches to do the same thing. Write down 1, 2, 3, 4 reasons why coaching has changed your life. And that's what you lead with when you talk to people. And someone's going to identify with one of them.
I think that's awesome. And you guys, if you're struggling to figure out what that reason is, like, right, maybe you're like a new coach and you're like, well, I don't know how it's changed my life yet. You've taken the step. So you're in the process of changing your life with it because you're on this journey. 2, you don't always have to look at just the coaching experience and how that changed your life. What you can do is look at, I'm going to use 80-day obsession, right? So many people have completed their first round, their second round. I get the messages all the time. 80-day obsession changed my life. It changed the way I dealt with food. I'm excited to push play on my workouts. Maybe that's your story, and that led you to coaching. Maybe the fitness program that you completed that helped you get your life back on track is what made you go, you know what? I want to be a part of this. And you can share that alone right there and be like, that's why I'm doing this, because I know I need to pay it forward. How good I feel, I want to help somebody else. I'm so thankful I had my coach, or that I had somebody reach out to me and say, do you want to be a part of this, so that I can be on this journey. So don't think that you have to be like, oh my God, I'm making $1 million a year. That's how to change life. Like my sister, I use my sister as a reference because it's funny. I mentioned this before, everybody assumes that since she's my sister, coaching should be really easy for her. And it was the exact opposite, because everybody that reached out to her was already in the Beachbody network. So she's like, this, I can't meet anybody that's new. I can't get any new people. And she was the same way. She was deathly afraid to invite people. And I kept saying, like, hello, like, you're going to do the business. You kind of have to do the business. But she was really shy about it. It took her a really long time. And just now, recently, is she able to actually, feel comfortable really opening up about her story. And I see the comments on her post all the time, and people being like, thank you for sharing that. You'll be shocked at how many people go through the same thing that you guys are going through. So don't be afraid to share it. Okay, so how do you determine if it's a challenger or if it's a coach invite?
For me, normally, if it is, I always look at their Instagram. For me, I always look at their Instagram if I'm going to decide if they're going to become a coach or not. And I usually look at, are they posting consistently about their life? It doesn't have to be about health and fitness, because that's where we come in as coaches. We can help them when they start their journey, help them start to share their journey, whatever program they're doing. But I just make sure they're sharing on social media, because that's probably the biggest struggle that most new coaches have, is sharing on social media. Biggest struggle. So if they're already doing that, I'm like, okay, they're sharing on social media. This is great. They'll be comfortable sharing their journey if they become a coach. And then second, I see if they are, for me, I do see if they are like my people. Honestly, I look and see if they're my people, where they connect with my coaches, because I know that if I can get them plugged in with my team and start to feel the energy of my girls, they'll want to do it. I know they're going to want to do it. So I usually look at those 2 things. Are they my people? And then are they sharing on social media? And obviously, do they love health and fitness? And then I invite them to coaching. Now, if it's someone that I'm unsure about, I actually offer both. I offer the challenge groups and I offer the coach opportunity. I offer both. And usually I'm just like, hey, I offer these amazing online training groups. You can be a part of that. Or if you love health and fitness like me, then I would love to share more with you about our coach sisterhood. And I offer both. And it's amazing to me how many people will say, I would love to hear more about your coach sisterhood or your tribe or whatever you want to call it. So if I'm unsure, I just offer both and I let them choose. And sometimes they're like, yeah, you just send me both things. I'm good with that. But if I see it's someone who's not on social media at all, I can tell they're anti-social media, then I always just leave with the challenge group, always. Because you never know. You never know. Maybe someone is looking for something. Like me, I was looking for something. Coaching presented itself, and it was the perfect thing at the perfect time. And I was like, sure, what the heck? I don't even know what Beachbody is, but I'll do it. And that's what happens for a lot of people.
I love that. And that's going to lead to, so you guys, just like last week, the last 2 weeks, we've really talked hardcore about sharing your own journey with Jen and with Christina the last 2 weeks about sharing on Instagram stories. And then last week, we really talked about sharing just on all of your social media. And here's the thing. For as much research as you're going to go do and look at other people's social media to see who's my tribe, do I want to invite them? The second you invite them, make no mistake, they're coming right back to your page to look more in depth at you. So they may have just stumbled upon you and watched the video or found a photo or whatever, or a friend might have tagged them in a thing. But the second you invite them to a challenge group or to the coaching experience, they're going back and looking at your feeds in more detail. They're going to see they don't even know what they're looking for, but you better have your workout photos on there. You better have a little bit of your real life on there. So if you've got something with the kids or your significant other or your friends, this is part of the reason it's so important to share on social media your journey, so that when you make that invite and somebody comes back to do their research on you, they see the whole picture of okay, I know what I'm getting into. Yes, I want to be a part of that. And it doesn't just look fake and oh, it's just pretty pictures. Their life is so hair perfect. Mine's a mess. I don't want to be a part of that. I can't be a part of the perfect club because I'm not perfect. So don't be afraid to show the messiness too. Okay, so let's say, does anybody ever give you I'm not sure kind of answer?
Oh yeah, I get tons of them, and I have a really great example of one. There was this girl I reached out to on Instagram, and she was a fit mom. She was a yoga instructor, and she had 3 kids. I'm like, oh, she's my person. I could, talk to her. And I reached out to her, and she's like, oh goodness. She's like, you're the 20th Beachbody coach that's reached out to me. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And she's like, and I just don't think it's for me. And I'm like, well, I said, just listen. And I sat and I really took time with my response with her. And I wrote everything to her about my own objections, why it took me a year to become a coach, what I was afraid of. I really took the time because I wanted her to see that it was more than just those 20 coaches inviting her and scripting her and then going MIA. I took the time to connect and to understand and relate my story. She wrote me back and she goes, you were the first coach out of all those coaches to take the time to respond to me and tell me why this would work for me and not just ignore me after that. And she said, she listened to my coach event and she goes, I'm not ready right now. She goes, but when I sign up, it will be with you. So just keep checking in with me. And you know what? She hasn't signed up, but I used her because I cared enough to explain why this would work for her life and why it worked for me and why I was able to overcome those fears and objections. And she said no, but I know when she signs up, it will be with me. And for me, that said, I set myself apart from all of those other people that just scripted her and didn't really take the time to talk to her. And that's where we as coaches, because we should be better than that. We should set ourselves apart. And that's where we should explain, why would this opportunity transform your life? Why would it help you become your best as a woman, as a man, as a coach, as a trainer, whatever you are? That's our job. That's our responsibility. So for me, that's a perfect example of taking the time of someone saying no. But you know what? When she signs up to be a coach, I know it'll be with me because I cared and I took the time to respond.
It's so important because I think so often people get stuck on the fact that they got rejected, that they got a no. And so without thinking, you you read it and you see that they said no, and all of a sudden we're like, oh, that was a no against me. And you're like, swipe delete. You almost don't want to see it.
Yep.
And without even thinking, you dismissed somebody. And so what you've done is confirm what they were maybe feeling, which was cold call, reaching out to everybody, not a family or community at all, doesn't really care. And then, right, and she's got 20 people that already did that to her. So one, I feel like as Beachbody coaches, none of us should ever just ignore. Like, I feel like you have the responsibility, if you reach out to somebody and they say no to you, to respond and say, no worries, thank you so much, totally understand. If you ever want to know more, I'm always here. Like that's us, right? We are better than, and I don't mean better in a conceited way, but we're supposed to be above the multi-level marketing and be the multi-level helping and multi-level caring. And so, like, if you're going to invite, you better actually care about that person a little bit, enough to be respectful enough to respond and say, totally understand. I appreciate your response. If you ever do have questions or you ever want to know more about my story, because I actually was the same way, feel free to reach out or ask me that does set you apart. Okay, so do you, when you have those people that say, not right now, and she said, just keep checking in with me, do you have email lists for that? Like, how do you keep track of those people?
It's funny because I always hear people talking about like Streak and all of these different email campaigns. I don't have any of that, okay? So I've been a coach for 3 years. I do not have Streak. I do not have any funnel system. I literally just have an Excel spreadsheet, and I just copy and paste their email once I get it on my list. And you know, there's probably a fancier way to do it, but I don't have a lot of time. And that's just the truth. I have 3 kids. My husband's like gone right now for 10 days in Spain. Like, I like have to maximize and be as efficient as possible. So when I get their email, I copy and paste, I put in my little Excel sheet, and I have a massive list now. And all I have to do is usually mid-month, I start a new coach mentorship the first of every month. I copy and paste all of the emails. I send it in one big email to everyone once a month. And I'm like, hey, just want to let you know that my new coach mentorship is starting next Monday. I would love for you to be a part of it. Here's a little video you can watch from my event that I hosted last week. If you have more questions about coaching, either way, I would love for you to be a part of it. Just let me know so we can get you started. That's it. And I do that every month. I send out that same email to that list, and I just follow up with them. Sometimes they say, thank you so much, I'm not ready. But then, like, today I had 2 people that said yes, and they were people that I emailed like 2 years ago. So you never know, but fortune truly is in the follow-up. And a lot of times with coaching, like you said, Autumn, is people are watching you. And if you maybe make a post from, say you went to the Success Club trip and they saw you in Mexico, and then it's like you send this email today, they're like, you know what? I was watching what you're doing. I want to be a part of it. I'm in. You never know. So it's really, really important just to follow up. Like I said, I do it once a month. That is it. I don't do it every 3 days, every week. Obviously, they're watching me. They already know what I do. And I would be mad.
I love that you only do it once a month, and obviously everybody is different, but I'm going to give you guys an example of something about why I think once a month is probably enough, because the last thing you want to do is harass somebody. So if you guys follow me on social media at all, you know I just announced that my brother and I officially are opening our restaurant this summer. We signed the lease 2 days ago. So excited, okay? So in the midst of like all this stuff and the amount of work that goes into this, I had reached out to a company that does POS systems, like your cashier system, okay? All I wanted was basic information of our POS systems range from this price to this price. Like, that's all I was looking for, because we're not there yet. We're like 2 months from actually needing to buy it. I'm just trying to get a rough idea, okay? They make you put your email in, blah, blah, blah. They don't give you any information. This woman calls me. She's like, what are your needs? And I was like, all I need right now is to know the range of pricing of your POS systems. And she was like, well, it really depends on how big your business is, and da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, cool, totally get it. Just what's the range? And she wouldn't give me, and she's like, I'll send you an email. She says, I'll send you an email. She never sends me an email. She calls me every single day for a week. Every day.
Bad.
So annoying, because she didn't give me the one bit of information that I asked for. And then she harassed me every day. And finally, I had to politely say to her, you know, you called me every day for a week, but you didn't give me the one thing I actually asked for, so I'm good. I'm not going to actually go with you guys. And I could tell she was like super annoyed, but I'm like, if anybody should be annoyed, it should be me. You said you would give me information that you didn't give, and then you kept calling to ask me if I was ready to buy your POS. So don't be that person, right?
Yep.
Keep track of your email. And the other thing I was going to say is make sure you are really organized with whatever system you're doing, whether it's a spreadsheet or some of these apps or whatever. If you email people, you send that blast out once a month. And you're going to get yeses. You're probably going to get a lot of no responses. But if somebody sends you a response and says, take me off your email list, oh my gosh, make sure you take them off. Because there's nothing more irritating that gives it a really bad, gross feel if you just keep doing it. Or if they sign up, make sure you remove them off that list. Because otherwise, again, it looks like you're not paying attention.
Yep.
And then they're like, oh, what did I sign up for? This girl doesn't even keep track, or this guy doesn't even keep track of what they're doing. So just make sure you're really organized and you move people to where they need to go once you get a response from them. I think that's really important.
Yeah. And I do the same thing for my challengers. Like in my Excel, I have tabs that say coach potentials, challenger potentials, free group potentials. And once a month, I send out an email to every single list. Once a month. And I've had people thank me. They're like, thank you so much for following up with me. I'm just not ready right now in this season of my life, but keep following up. Because I'm not nagging them. It's once a month. And you know what? They appreciate it. And I will say that I am probably the most stubborn person in the world. And I will follow up for 10 years with them until they say yes. And that's what we're supposed to do, is follow up, because you never know when they're going to say yes. So don't nag. And I saw a question somewhere. They said, do you follow up with the same person? If you're inviting 3 new people every day, you're going to have more people to be inviting. Like, yes, I send out the same follow-up list, but I keep adding to that list. If they say no, they go on the list. If they say yes, and they sign up, and they don't go on the list. So that's why it's important to keep inviting every single. You guys can all do 3 invites a day. Seriously,
yeah.
No excuse.
That's really nothing. Like you can really go through stuff and find 3 people.
Oh yeah.
And you guys, if they're not commenting on your photos, you can, again, like we talked about, you can search, like maybe you don't have a huge following yet. Search the hashtags. This is where you would want to search maybe the Beachbody hashtags or the other fitness hashtags, right? Like I made the joke last week, but I wasn't really joking. Like, look at the Tone It Up Girls hashtag. Like look at them. Look at like Jillian Michaels. Like, be careful with people on the keto diet because they're pretty like diehard. So you've got to be careful who you pick. But like looking at the different other fitness people and their hashtags, because trust me, they do it to us. But like, if you are like the Kayla Itstein people and you comment and you're like, oh my God, I see that you did great, like you're losing weight, blah, blah, blah. You can pretend like you don't realize that it's a Kayla Itstein thing. Like, if it's blunt, if it's like, oh my God, I lost so much weight with Kayla Itstein, then I would maybe be a little bit careful. But if it's just like showing a progress photo and maybe it's in a list of hashtags that it was hers or something, then I think it's fair game to just pretend like you didn't see it.
Yes.
But be careful. But like I said, it doesn't have to always just be on your photos. The one thing you don't want to do is go coach a different Beachbody coach. You don't want a Beachbody another coach's page and comment to their people, because that's poaching and that's really wrong. But like that's why I'm saying searching outside of our people, but clearly people that are interested in fitness. You can use the hashtag plant-based yoga hashtag, like cardio app, like all those tags are great ones to look under to find people. Okay, so you follow up. So another question I want to talk to you about, because I think I'm looking to see. There is one question. How do you reach out to your customer referrals from reaching a Success Club? Haven't had much luck with them responding back.
With the Beachbody leads? Is that what she's talking about?
I'm not exactly sure. Brandy, it just says, how do you reach out to your customer referrals from reaching Success Club? I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Like, do you guys get referrals at a certain point when you hit Success Club, or?
Yeah, you get leads. So if she's talking about leads, like how to reach out to Beachbody leads, like the customer Success Club leads, maybe that's what she's talking about, but maybe she can. With that, I will say that with my leads, I'll just, in case that's what she's talking about, I send out an email. So what I do is I import my leads at the end of every single month. Yeah, Beachbody leads. She just said, Brandy. Okay. So what I do is you get your leads. I import them at the end of every single month, and I have just a regular email that I send out to all of my leads at the end of every single month. So that's another thing. So I have like all of my one big emails. I do my middle of the month, my follow-ups at the end of the month. I do my leads and I message all of them. And for them too, Brandy, I don't nag them. I send it out once a month. And if they respond, they respond. If not, I'm not going to chase them down because I emailed them, and then it's their job to follow up with me.
So let's say you get a lead. I don't know how it works. So do you get leads like all throughout the month?
Yeah, you get leads if you earn Success Club and if you're Emerald. So you get leads based off of Success Club 5, Success Club 10, and being an Emerald. You have to be an Emerald coach.
Okay.
And you get leads based off of that way. Sometimes you get leads where they're just a customer and you don't earn anything and you have to reach out to them to actually get the points or get the commission. And then sometimes you earn the commission. But I reach out to them. If I can be honest with you guys, I am religious about emailing, and I've maybe had like a handful that actually sign up. And I know that maybe that's bad. I don't know what the ratio is, but I mean, I religiously send out an email, and a lot of times either I don't know if they get it or if they don't know me. It's not like a personal connection. And I think I've had maybe 2 sign up as coaches, but they've really just been discount coaches. So.
Okay. Yeah, that's always an interesting one because so I know what happened. This was really interesting. So when we did the big 80-day obsession test group that had like 43,000 people in it, we had so many customers sign up to be a coach so that they could get into that group with me, right?
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of them were coming through my posts. So I'm not their coach, which means they get fed into the lead system.
Yep.
And I mean like thousands, thousands of people signed up with no coach. And they would comment in that big group of like, I signed up, my coach never emailed me. Like I never heard from them. So part of what they were looking for, and part of the reason I actually decided to do this very particular group was because of that, was because I was like, wow, like I love that you reach out to them. It seems like there's a lot of coaches that don't follow up with the leads that they get. So while maybe a lot of them don't sign up, I think it's still really important because again, it just shows that level of integrity that like the lead came to you. Reach out to them.
You need to reach out. It's a part of if you're a Beachbody coach and you're getting leads, if Beachbody's giving you free leads, it's your responsibility to reach out to them in my eyes. And I know maybe you're uncomfortable, but it's just an easy, I just welcome them like, hey, my name's Ali Tessitore. I'm your Beachbody coach, completely free. I'm just here to help you reach your health and fitness goals. I have a couple different ways that you can plug in to my online training groups. I have a 21-day group, I have an 80-day group, and I have a nutritional group. If you want information on any of them, I would love to share more. I even have an amazing coaching team. So if you love health and fitness, let me know and I can share more about you on that topic. And that's it. Sincerely, Ali Tessitore. I send it out every month to to the new leads, and that's it. I mean, it's not anything in depth. It's just saying, hey, I'm here to help. Let me know if you need help. And sometimes you can see their orders. So if I want to personalize it, I'm like, oh, I noticed you've got Shakeology. What flavors did you get? Depending on how many leads I have that month. So sometimes I make it a little bit more personal. And if you're a new coach, you can definitely make it more personalized because you have maybe a little bit more time to actually sit and to go through all of those people. And I think someone said that they text their leads.
I just text them.
Yeah. And I would say that would be like totally up to you. I personally don't like to give out my personal number. So I don't want to text people just because I try to keep it email only when it comes to that. Especially as you grow your business, if you have all these random people having your phone number, I don't know if that's the safest thing to do, but that's really up to you. If that works for you, do texting or do some type of platform. Maybe an email campaign you could do if you wanted to. I know Streak, that's a great platform. You can import all of your leads in there and just do a mass email every month to your leads. For me, I just import it from Beachbody and just send it all really quick. Super easy.
Awesome. I love those things. Okay, so we're going to move on a little bit to a slightly different topic, but I want to talk about the shopping cart feature.
Yes.
So this is more for, obviously, I guess it could be for coaches too, because coaches have to sign up with a pack of some sort, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the shopping cart feature is a newer thing since we've released wave 1 of our technology, and I hear wonderful things about it. I obviously don't have the ability to to use it. Like
to use it.
So I don't know exactly all about it, which is why I'm excited to ask you. So you guys, we have this new feature. It's the shopping cart feature. I'm sure a lot of you guys know about it. But basically, I know I would always hear a lot of complaints from customers and stuff about trying to do their own order. And like, I remember the first time I ever bought from Beachbody, literally like 15 years ago. I bought P90X, but I did it over the phone. Okay. But I remember being on the phone, and you know, we get prompted for so many upsells. It's just a part of the business. And it still happens, I guess, obviously, when we do it via internet, right? Like, you choose, okay, I want to buy 21-day fix, or okay, I want a big Beachbody on demand, and then it's, do you want Shakeology, and then it's, do you want the performance line, and then it's, do you want da-da-da-da-da, do you want your loops and your slides? And before you know it, you're like, it just wanted to do this program, and you back out of the person's backs out of the whole thing, right? It's overwhelming. Yep. So the shopping cart feature allows you as the coach to create their shopping cart for them. So basically, you can have a one-on-one conversation. Okay, you're going to do 80-day obsession. That's amazing. Let me talk you through a couple different options. We've got this pack and this pack and this pack. So I'm going to let you take it from there, Allie, and just explain what it is and explain how it works. Because the conversion rate, you guys, and I know this because corporate has told me, is 50% compared to our conversion rates that were literally like 10% and less. Without the shopping cart, a 50% conversion rate is really, really good.
It's awesome. I love it. I mean, before, I was having to send out the links. Like, you go to customize links, and you have to copy and paste the link and send it to them. For me, the only thing I use is Share Cart. Like, I'm obsessed with it, and it makes life so much easier. So the first thing I would say is this, is whether it's a challenger or a coach, you need to know about them. Because for me, I like to customize a cart, and I usually try to get them to get something else besides the challenge pack. I always lead with the challenge pack. But for me, as someone who, I believe it's so much more than just the fitness, it's the nutrition, and they need to, maybe someone has an inflammatory disease, or they have a process where they need something extra. This is where you need to become educated, number one. I will say you have to become educated with the products that Beachbody has, because if you're not educated on the products, from the beach bars to the Ultimate Reset line, to the 3-day refresh, to the performance line, if you don't know what we have to offer, you're never going to be able to maximize the cart, bottom line. So you need to know what we offer as coaches for our nutritional supplements and fitness, and for anything else that we offer in the Share Cart feature. 2 is, I would recommend that you have every challenger, every coach fill out some type of form, whether it's the Wufoo form, whether it's a Google form, because this is going to allow you to tailor their cart. So if someone messages you back and fills out the application to become a challenger, and they say, I have rheumatoid arthritis, or I have high blood pressure, or I recently had surgery, any of those red flags, I'm like, okay, I want this person to do the 3-day refresh because they just had surgery, and I want them to detox all of the anesthesia medication out of their system. If I know that they have rheumatoid arthritis, or maybe they have a GI issue, I'm like, I want them to take turmeric, because turmeric is an anti-inflammatory. So I'm going to throw that in their cart, which is a part of the Ultimate Reset line. And then I'm like, okay.
Which, by the way, I didn't even know that was a part of the Ultimate Reset line. Is it turmeric by itself?
It's with the aloe. So it's turmeric and aloe together. It's called Soothe, and I'm obsessed with it. I pretty much because most people. That's
who I'm calling tomorrow. Hello, hecklers. I need something.
It's amazing. I take it every single day. My husband takes it every day. My mom takes it every day. And I mean, turmeric's one of the #1 anti-natural inflammatories. It's amazing. So, and also a lot of people have gut issues. So aloe soothes the GI system. So for me, you've got to know what you can offer. The bars, if they have kids, I recommend the beach bars. Even for myself, we get the bars for my husband when he travels. If someone says they're addicted to energy drinks people are addicted to. Hello, Energize. Energize is everything. A little concoction. If you mix Energize with the sparkling water, it's amazing, and it helps people kind of get off of energy drinks, Red Bulls, and all that stuff. So you need to know the products, and you need to know your client. And that is how you're going to maximize your Share Cart. And then you can email them back, and you can say, hey, just want to let you know that I added the 80-day obsession challenge pack to your cart, but I also threw in there turmeric, or the Soothe. It's called Soothe, because I noticed that you mentioned you have some inflammatory issues, but I also threw in the 3-day refresh because you recently had surgery. You don't have to get all of that, but I want you to check it out. Here's the link from your Share Cart, and let me know what you think. pretty much every time people order it, because I'm educating them and I'm picking a program that fits their needs. And I'm not just throwing everything in the cart. I'm being very, very specific. And the great thing is I love Share a Cart because it will recommend things. So maybe you have someone that doesn't give a lot of information. Most of the time I will have clients that reach out to me like, oh my gosh, I got the 3-day refresh. I have no idea what it is, but it recommended it to me. I'm like, oh great, that's awesome. I'll tell you about it. And I know with the 2B mindset, people were getting the bars because it was recommended to them to get the bars. But it's our job as coaches to be educated and to also know our client. And that's how you will ultimately maximize your Share a Cart, by knowing those things and doing those things and implementing them with every single coach and challenger, because coaches too. Coaches need to know that. I mean, even I would say if you have someone that's a personal trainer, someone that's in the health and fitness industry, they need to be getting Shakeology, Energize, and Recover, because they have multiple different clients they work with. And some people love the Recover and Energize, and sometimes they don't want that. So you need to know your products. And I always say for all my coaches, new coaches, I try to get them to get as much as possible so that they can try it, share it, and help their potential challengers as they begin to grow.
I think that's really important. Look, I get it that a lot of times, like, obviously money is money, and so you can't always buy everything all at once. But as a new coach, like Ali said, sampling what we have, right? Whether you buy like the mini travel packs of the performance line, or you buy the sample package of Shakeology so you can try a couple different flavors, or you know, 1 month you buy the peanut butter bars and the next month you buy the almond bars, whatever it is, like knowing everything and trying it yourself, going through the 3-day refresh at least once, or the ultimate reset, you know, and if you're not going to do it, at least reading about it, looking at other people's journeys so that you can talk about it. I think that's really important. Somebody asked, what kind of questions do you put on your like list, like sort of your like woo-foo form? Like, what kind of questions are you asking people to get the information you need?
So I asked them, do they have any pre-existing health conditions? I mean, and that a lot of that, I am a registered nurse and I'm a certified holistic health coach and nutritionist. So for me, that's really important. But I also think that everyone should ask those questions, because you need to know what you're working with here. You need to know, do they have thyroid issues? Do they have Hashimoto's? And you don't have to say Hashimoto's, but you can say thyroid issues, because that's going to also help you know if they're struggling to lose weight. Some of those things are going to be indicators. So when they message you and they're like, girl, I'm 2 weeks in and I'm not losing any weight. Well, they have the thyroid issue. That's going to help identify, you know what, like maybe reach out to your doctor. Or it just gives you tips on how to coach them better. But I asked them, do they have any pre-existing health conditions? That's also important because you need to know if they have issues that maybe will limit them in doing things, whether it's exercise, whether it's taking a certain supplement. I know for me, I'm really prone to anxiety. And if I can be honest with you, I was very nervous to take Energize. Very, very, very nervous, because I can't drink coffee because it gives me heart palpitations. I get flustered. I sweat. And I did not drink Energize until the 80-day obsession test group because I was nervous. I was so nervous. And I remember signing the contract. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to do everything. I just have to suck it up and just try it. And I did half a scoop. And I knew, I was like, I need to be the product. I have to try everything. And I was honestly scared because I didn't know what was going to happen. And I tried half a scoop. And you know what? I'm addicted to it and I love it. And now I know how to talk to people that maybe are sensitive to caffeine. And I'm like, start off with a half a scoop. Try it for a month. So those things are important to know. Like, do they have anxiety? Do they struggle with X, Y, and Z? So I always put that on my form. I also ask them, what are their obstacles to reaching their health and fitness? Like, what do you struggle with when it comes to your nutrition and exercise? I have a lot of people that have health issues that come to me. They have things that limit their mobility and they can't do certain things. Or I have people that travel. I say, what's your life like? Do you travel? Do you stay at home? Do you work from home? I ask about their lifestyle factors, because someone like my husband who travels all the time, I got to like do things different for him. I got to pack things. I got to order small packets. I got to order so many different options than I would do because of his travel and what he needs for his lifestyle when he's traveling. So I ask him, what's their lifestyle like? Are they a stay-at-home mom? Do they work full-time? And then I ask them, how can I help you? The last question is, how can I help you reach your health and fitness goals as a coach? And then they usually tell me, I need you to motivate me. I need meal plans. I need to stop drinking coffee. I need to lose 20 pounds. And then I know, okay, this is how I can support them. This is how I can help them. And it's really, really important to have a form for them to fill out. I think it's the game changer for meeting their needs and helping them every step of the way through their process.
I think it's so important. And I want to point out a couple of things, because right now there's probably some people watching going, oh my God, I'm not a nurse. Oh my God, I'm not a certified health coach. I don't know what thyroid issue means, and I don't know what to tell these people. And you guys, you don't need to know that. You don't have to be the nurse, the certified health coach, the fitness expert, right? Because here's the thing. If they respond to, yes, I have a thyroid issue. First of all, there is this beautiful thing called Google out there. And you can just look up, what does a thyroid issue mean? Just the basics, like what does Wikipedia tell you that a thyroid issue is? Depending on if it's hypo or hyper, it means it's either working too fast or it's working too slow. It's going to tell you that the thyroid helps control all of your hormones, which it means if it's working too slow, it's probably going to be really hard to lose weight. Like you don't have to know everything, and you don't have to be the doctor, but again, it will help educate you. And again, you have to be willing to do the research and to say, or to be able to say, I don't know, let me ask, or I don't know, I think you should check with your doctor, let me know what they recommend, and then I can guide you from there. All of those things are okay. I think that's really important. The other thing I want to say is it's so interesting. When I was getting my health coach certification 2 years ago, because I got certified through the Integrative Institute of Nutrition, one of the biggest things they taught us was most people know what they need to get better. It's whether or not they're actually willing to do it. And I thought that was such an interesting statement. And I started thinking back about all my clients over the years and what they would, I would always joke that I was also a therapist in my sessions. I was like, I'm not just a trainer, I'm a therapist. They'll tell you, oh my God, I need to stop binge eating Oreo cookies at night. Oh my gosh, I drink like 7 cups of coffee a day. Okay, well, how about some water in place of that, right? Like, okay, we got to get you off the sugar at night. Maybe Shakeology is a better fit. Or they'll be like, I'm in this, or they'll rant to you about the relationship they're in and just how awful it is every single day. Now, that's not your place to tell them to get out of that. But the stress of that is what you can point out. Okay, it sounds like you're under a lot of stress. Let me just tell you that stress is going to make it harder to lose weight. It is what it is. So let's do some things that will help you de-stress. Maybe you want to try a 3-week yoga retreat mixed in with your regular workouts, just to calm your nervous system down. Things like that. But asking these questions, what's your lifestyle like? Do you travel? It might seem weird to say, are you married? Are you in a relationship? What is that person's health or nutrition like, right? How many times have you guys been in one of my bigger groups and seen people, it breaks my heart when I see this, where you see people commenting, I'm trying to lose weight, and all my significant other will come home and literally eat pizza in my face and to tease me and taunt me, or I stop buying the cookies and then they bring the cookies home. That's a thing that they're dealing with, because it's the stress of that not so healthy relationship, but then it's also the stress of they're trying to lose weight and somebody's shoving bad food in their face. So just think about those things that you see. Those are the questions that you don't want to get too personal, make it broad spectrum. But when you ask about their relationship, when you ask about their lifestyle, when you ask about their work, what kind of hours do they work? What kind of things do they like to do for fun? If they're like, I love to go dancing with my friends, maybe recommend Size or Country Heat, right? Because they like to dance. So they're giving you information. So those are the things you want to think about when you're making up questions for your form.
I also put 2 more. I just remembered when you said I did put what is your stress level from a 0 to 10. I asked that because obviously stress is the number 1 killer. It's huge. So I say stress 0 to 10, and then I do ask them, because on a holistic level, it is so much more than just body. I do ask them, what changes do you want to see body, mind, and spirit? And I do ask them that because I want to know, maybe spiritually or mentally, what do they need to overcome? Because maybe binge eating, emotional eating, maybe, it's stress, maybe it's anxiety. And a lot of times if you can get to the root of the issue, all the other things can start to function properly. So I do have those 2 questions as well on my form.
I love it. Okay, you guys, we have kept Allie for just about an hour. We're going to wrap it up. Such amazing information for how to invite and how to reach out to your prospects. So first of all, I did the post just a little while ago from this past week about social media. So make sure you've got 24 hours to share, to respond to the post, to win this week's prize. Okay, I'll tell you what it is tomorrow when I tell you who the winners are, but it's a good one. Or at least I think it is. Your assignment for this week is to invite. You've heard a lot of information. I'm not telling you how to invite. I think Allie has given you amazing tips on different ways that you can invite and reach out to your prospects. So this week, your goal is to invite. And what I'll be asking you at the end of the week is, what did you do to invite and how did it go? Like, that's going to be the basic, and then I'll tell you what those prizes are. But I want to take a minute to thank Allie for being on. Allie, if you can email me like your top 5 tips for inviting, I'll get those added to the photo album so that people can go back and reference. That way they don't always have to watch the full hour long if they're just like, what was that bullet point that she said? That would be amazing. So thank you guys for another awesome night. For anybody that's doing 80-Day Obsession, we start round 2 tomorrow. Yay! So keep it up, you guys. I think you're really crushing it in the business. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next Sunday night. Have a great night, everybody.
Bye. Thanks, Adam.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.